Counting it down. He's busy for the next 2 hours anyway. Hello.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi.
Hi. Welcome. It's been a while since we've done some live stuff, but here we are, live again, mildly interesting and live. High five. Get ready. I don't want this to hurt your ears, but
Oh, thank you for warning me. Or were you
I
warning
would I
them?
have I it's yeah, it was on preview. That's how long
Oh,
ago it was. There, welcome to the Mildly Interesting People production meeting
I need a
studio
manicure.
live
Is this a production
thing.
meeting? Is it a production meeting? That was my first question.
I
Is what do
don't
we call
know.
this now that
I don't really have any production notes for this
well
week.
you do them okay.
I
I
mean,
had production notes earlier, but we discussed them over dinner.
right. So like I don't know. I don't
Mm,
know what's going on. Um so let's I guess just get into it
okay.
and chat about things or stuff.
Do you want to chat about the fact that my manicure is no longer good?
No,
Thank
not
goodness.
really.
Okay. That's really stressing me out.
I don't I don't know where my I've lost I've lost my Facebook chat. I don't know what's going on. So, yeah. Hmm.
If you're watching us on the Facebooks, hello. Rick has lost the
Hello.
chat, and
I don't know what's
I
going
don't look
on.
at
Yeah.
such things.
So
I don't know where I'm
we
looking.
wanted to keep this one pretty quick. Um I don't think we really had a lot to talk about. So,
I have questions though.
should we just get into questions?
Let's do this. Hey Rick, how's your month been?
It's been okay. How about you?
Eventful.
Yeah? How
I'll
so?
go with eventful. I don't want to discuss how it's been eventful.
Oh yeah, I had an event, didn't I, this month? I
You did
forgot
have
about
an
that.
event. Yeah,
Hmm.
it's been a month, and I feel very much done with this month. We have a few days left.
Yeah.
I'm just considering them bonus days, though. I've got a couple of good things coming in the next couple of days, and hopefully some sleep. And then September, you know,
Yeah.
I
And
didn't make that
then
up. It's September on Friday.
no,
Friday? Friday.
it's September soon, which is crazy. But it is
Remember
what it is.
January?
No, I honestly do not.
I do. I don't remember much in between, but I remember January. Hmm. Okay,
Well,
let's go.
I can't. Yeah, I've somehow lost the Facebook chat. So if people want to chat with us on Facebook, I I can't see it.
Do you want to talk about TV shows before we dive into our questions?
Uh, sure. What TV
What have
shows?
you been watching, Rick?
Well, we found that new what's that new director's name? That's a movie, but
That's a movie, but I loved that movie, and I
the
really,
movie was called The Battery, but what was the
hmm
guy's name?
I don't know, it was the main character.
I'm looking it up.
Okay, good. Um,
His name is
he
Jeremy
also
Gardner.
Jeremy Gardner. I really liked the Battery. I'm super excited. I think it's after midnight, before midnight, something. He did another. He wrote and directed, I believe, another movie that I made you watch the preview for. That if I had my way, we would watch tonight.
Right.
I don't think I'm gonna get my way though. It's possible. Not
I
it's
don't know.
It's not
Probably not.
probable. It's not
Probably
probable.
not. Probably not going to happen.
What else? Anything else? This whole
No, I'm
writer's
sorry.
strike, could we just actually pay writers and actors and everyone fairly and equitably? Could we treat them like humans
Yeah,
instead of,
exactly.
stealing their work, and then we get no television shows? Because I miss them.
I think I lost the Facebook stream. It's not streaming, so that's probably
So we're
part of the
not even
problem.
streaming to Facebook.
We're just
Sad.
streaming to YouTube.
Oh, hi YouTube.
So
We usually I think we usually tell YouTube everything, but then don't tell everything to Facebook. So par for the
so
course, fine.
so it'll be really like that this time because it says it's happening, but I can't get access to it. So
Well, maybe you just don't have the right permissions. Maybe you're
yeah, I don't
not
know.
special. Maybe you're not
I don't know
interesting
what's
enough.
I don't know what's going on. It it crashed out. So
I want to talk
um
about Good Omens season 2,
okay, please
but
do.
I
I don't
can't
know
because I
anything
don't want to.
about it.
I know you don't. And I don't want to spoil it for people. And I keep talking to people. I'm like, hey, did you see Good Omens season 2? Did you see the last episode? Oh my God, did you see what happened? And people are like, no, I haven't seen it. Don't spoil it for me. And I'm like,
Sorry.
so if you've watched Good Omens season 2 and you felt about it as warmly as I felt about it, hit me up. Let's talk, because my friends are they're lagging behind on the Good Omens watching, and Terry Pratchett was a literary marvel. I very much enjoyed all of his work, and Neil Gaiman, wow, right? And so when Neil Gaiman and Terry Pratchett write something together and then it gets turned into a TV show, you pay attention.
Right.
And then if you put David Tennant in it and John freaking Hamm, come on, why is not everyone watching and talking about this? It's so good.
I don't know.
Okay, I'm done with that now. I have had my
Okay.
feelings.
Should we I'm really disappointed that the Facebook stuff crashed. So
I'm sorry.
it's all right. Should we do the
Mildly interesting
thing?
questions.
Yeah, let's do
Mm-hmm.
that. I'm just going to forget about Facebook and
Okay. I'm sorry
we
that you
can,
have to. I know that must be very stressful and
that's all
stressing
right.
you out. But we'll publish this on Facebook later so they can see it.
It is absolutely all right. Yeah.
Okay.
So let's get going. So for folks who haven't been here before, mildly interesting questions. Uh, Basically our lightning round of questions that we use to test drive questions that we may ask guests in the future. But the whole idea is Cami will ask me 5 questions. I'll answer as rapidly as I can. I have the opportunity to pass if I need to, and then I will reciprocate by asking Cami 5 questions, and she will be able to pass and stuff and things.
But I have to come back to the question. I don't
Right.
know where to
There's no
look
escaping
because
the
we've moved my
questions.
camera so that I'm looking at it, but it's like right up in my face.
Right.
So my octopus is very grumpy. I shouldn't have done that. I should not have done that because now I can't get my octopus to balance.
And you're moving the camera when you
All
do
right, we'll
that,
just
which
stop.
is making me seasick.
Ahoy, matey. Are you ready for mildly interesting questions?
Not really, but let's go ahead and do it anyway. I'm never
Okay.
really ready.
Question number 1, I kind of took a page out of your book. So I'm saying
Okay.
who wore it best, but I'm going to identify 5 actors for you who have all played the same role, and I want you to let me know which one of them you preferred. Bonus points, I'm going to ask you to tell me what character was played by all 5 of these actors. Are you ready?
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. So Tommy Lee Jones,
Mm-hmm.
Aaron Eckhart, Richard Mall, Misha Collins, and Billy D. Williams.
I'm going to assume it's Two-Face just from the first 2.
Yeah, it is. Are you familiar with all of these actors?
No. I like Tommy Lee Jones because it's so cartoonish. Like, but that's the vibe of that whole thing. Aaron Eckhart's was fine, but he was by far the least compelling character. Now, granted, he was going up against Christian Bale and Heath Ledger, so how that was incredibly and Gary Oldman and yeah,
I love how you just forgot about Gary Oldman for a moment. And who else is in the movie?
That's a tough cast to go up
Morgan
against.
Freeman.
So, Morgan Freeman, sure. Yes, like a submarine. Yeah. So, yeah, but I'll have to go with Tommy Lee Jones. I think I liked his over the top treatment because I I've probably seen the others, but I don't remember them.
Well, some of them were the voice actors for cartoon versions of Two-Face.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
That makes
The only
sense.
one I think you're not familiar with is Misha Collins. I think you know who Richard Mall and Billy D. Williams are.
Yeah. Yes. I
Disgusting that
think
you know who Billy
I
D is.
think
All
I
right.
do.
Question number
Smooth.
two. Question number two. You have to pierce a body part. You have to. Which part of your body do you sacrifice to the piercing?
Um, I just one piercing, right?
Mm-hmm. Anywhere you want,
Yeah,
but you
just
have to have one.
probably my earlobe. Then I'm not
Okay.
terribly creative.
Okay.
Can't think of anywhere. I don't want to be pierced anywhere, but I can't think of anywhere else that I would find it least annoying.
Excellent. Thank you.
Sure.
Question number three. We're taking a weekend trip to Seattle. Do you prefer to take a train, a plane, or an automobile?
uh, Train.
Cool.
Train seems easiest, even though it makes it a little awkward once we get there.
Mm-hmm.
But it also depends on like how long we're there and where we have to go, I guess.
Right. If we're seeing family and we're going out into the burbs, we probably need a
Car.
transportation car of some
Yeah.
kind. But if we're
Yeah.
staying
But
in the city,
I would prefer the train if we're
okay.
staying in the city or if we're just doing a day trip.
Excellent. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Question number four. Is denim a neutral?
Is denim a neutral? I would say it's become a neutral. I don't think it started out as a neutral.
Excellent answer. And question number five. What is the most useless piece of furniture?
Uh, huh.
Hmm.
It's a good question. Thinking of pieces of furniture. Like end tables to me, like end tables rarely, if ever, get, especially if you have a coffee table and end tables, like
Mm-hmm.
end
Mm-hmm.
tables, maybe they have a lamp on them or something, but they don't seem terribly useful. I could live without end tables in my life.
I think just for transparency to you folks out there, we own a single end table.
And it doesn't get used. It's pretty and it
It
sits
has a
there, but
plant on it and
yeah,
a
and a
yeah,
bowl.
and a bowl with a little mountain in it.
Hmm.
Okay, those are you passed. You did it. Good job.
Oh,
Check.
nice. Cool. Um, all right. Well, are you ready for mildly interesting questions? Cool.
No, but let's
Then
do it anyway.
okay. These don't feel very hard this time. So,
My lips seem to match your plant light today.
oh, nice. It's very
Hmm.
pinkish
No.
purple themed show. I thought you might like to know the YouTube has an excellent connection right now. Who knows what happened to the Facebook, but the YouTube has an
YouTube.
excellent connection. All right. Question number one: peanut butter or jelly?
Peanut butter.
Hmm.
Do you want to know why?
Sure.
Because if I had to live off of one or the other, peanut butter provides protein and jelly is just all sugar and fruit. I love it
Hmm.
though. I like peanut butter and jelly. I know that will surprise people, but
I know. I thought that might be a tougher choice for you, but clearly
mm.
you've thought about that before.
I many times in my life have I thought about which is better, peanut butter or jelly. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure you have.
Is
What's
that not a thing that people think about?
just staring off into space? What are you thinking about? Oh, whether peanut butter or jelly is better.
D- Please leave a comment and let me know. Is this the kind of thing you think about? It's the kind of thing I think about and have since I was a very small child.
People do. Uh, Next question. What's one thing that you like about getting older?
There are many things that I like about getting older.
What's your favorite thing?
My favorite thing right now is that the gray is really coming into my hair. And I have always wanted my hair. My grandmother had a beautiful head of white hair. And I always really wanted to have like the gray and white hair. And it's coming in. But also, I think, well, that's my favorite physical feature of growing older.
Okay.
But I give less of a fuck now
About things.
about I feel I've always known who I was, and in my youth and in my not quite youth, I feel like I have been very apologetic for who I am and the impact that I cause on other people. And now I'm like, you know what? I'm a good person. I don't like to do harm. I like to be kind. And so I don't fucking care. I'm just going to be me and it feels good. And I'm really sitting in that right now. So I, yeah, I just feel the ability to really own who I am more.
Cool. Good answer.
Thanks.
Next question. I've lost my questions. Who is your favorite professional wrestler of all time?
Andre the Giant.
Oh,
That was a really hard one. That was really hard. I realized I had the answer very quickly. I
uh-huh.
was about to say something else, and then I was about to say something else, and then like there was like a brief discussion back and forth in my head, and then I was like, duh, Andre the Giant.
It's
So
a good answer.
thank you.
But is that because of him as a wrestler, or is that because of the Princess Bride?
It isn't because of him as a wrestler or because of him as a princess, as he wasn't the Princess Bride, who's in the Princess Bride. I
That's
was
a
about to say it's
really
not because of him
interesting
as the Princess
version.
Bride. I just think it's about everything that went along with his life. He was larger than life, right? And both physically and figuratively. And I just can't think of any professional wrestler who had more humanity and more struggle and more like perceived by me goodness. Also feels very Portlandy to love Andre so much.
Mhm.
And the Princess Bride did not hurt.
Okay.
Do
Good
you want to know
answer.
who was in second place? Probably.
Who was in second place?
It's really obvious.
Ric
Can you
Flair.
smell? Can you smell what the Rock is cooking?
Oh, The Rock.
I
Yes.
love the
Okay.
Rock so much.
I am not surprised by that one. Cool. Uh, next one. What do you play?
Music on the speakers.
Okay. Cool. I thought you.
I know what I'm supposed to
I thought
answer.
you'd take the video game
Zelda,
first.
Pac-Man, Katamari Damacy reroll, a lot of Katamari Damacy reroll. There's a new, it's not new, but there's a new to us Katamari game that we just bought. It's so much harder than the other one. The controls are just
Yeah.
yeah, I that was for those of you who may not have realized, taken directly from one of our favorite movies, Scott Pilgrim versus the World. But I thought I would put my own spin on it, and it wasn't as funny.
No.
Surprise!
But it was a valiant attempt.
Thank you.
So, final question. I always like to ask you to kind of recast things. I will give you the characters that you're recasting. It's getting more and more difficult because they've redone so many like 70s.
These are the ones that keep me up at night afterwards with anxiety over having cast them wrong, because I literally grapple. I have no idea. And so I usually just start pulling stuff out of my hat. I'm like,
Yep.
So, how are you torturing me today?
So the one that we're doing today is Knight Rider. And you have to do
David Hasselhoff and the car.
David and the car and the dude from Knight Industries, his guy that he was connected with.
I don't remember that character at all. It's been so long since I watched Knight Rider. One moment, please.
You don't have to look him up.
I'm not looking anything up. I'm I'm just going to cast him arbitrarily. I'm thinking
Oh,
about who
okay.
I would like to replace David Hasselhoff with.
Cool. And
See, what the problem, this is what happens. A little peek
yes.
into my brain, folks.
Mm-hmm.
What happens is I think about what's going to be the most absurd or something, and then one actor will get in my head, and then I'll get stuck and I'll be like, well, obviously it's Pete Davidson. I mean, that's the new David Hasselhoff for Knight Rider. Pete Davidson is going to be this like,
Huh.
yeah, I don't know what it shouldn't be Pete Davidson, but you know what? We're going with it. I'm making the decision. I'm making the call. It's Pete Davidson,
Interesting.
which is a bad choice on my part, but we're going with it because you know what? We're going to admit that it's campy and stupid. We're not going to try for something else. And I like it when Pete Davidson kind of like talks to himself, other random. So we're going Pete Davidson.
Okay.
You know what I never understood about Kit in Knight Rider is that
What?
we always name cars and boats after women, and Kit
Mm-hmm.
was a boy. So we
Mm-hmm.
obviously are going to make Knight Rider Kit's car a woman, the Kit car. What was
Okay.
Knight Rider? What was the dude's name? The car's name was Kit.
Hasselhoff's name?
Yeah, what was Hasselhoff's name in Knight Rider?
What was the Knight Industries 2000? Yeah, for some reason I thought his name was Michael Knight, but
Oh,
I'm
that might
maybe
be it.
wrong.
I don't know.
I can't
Okay, so
remember.
David Hasselhoff is now being played by Pete Davidson. And Kit,
Which is also hard because of Paul Bettany has become such a
yeah.
compelling voice for those kind of things.
Oh my gosh, Francis McNormand.
Huh. Okay. That's an interesting one. Yeah, his name was Michael Knight.
Okay. So Pete Davidson as Michael Knight, Frances McDormand as Kit. I love her voice.
Okay.
And then there's some guy at Knight Industries that I need to cast.
Yeah, Devin Miles, who is played by Edward Molaire.
I have no idea who that is, so we're just going to go with someone I think is really pretty.
Okay.
Hemsworth. We're going with Chris Hemsworth.
Nice.
Yeah. He looks great
Good
in a
answer.
suit. Yeah.
Well,
Thank you.
that wasn't that hard, was it?
Yes, it was because
Oh.
I could change that. I'm actually really impressed. Like the other ones, whatever. Pete Davidson, Chris Hemsworth, you can recast them as much as you want to. What I'm attached to now is Frances McNormand as Kit. Like I can just hear her voice coming from the car and being
Nice.
much smarter than everyone in the room.
It's not her Fargo voice, is
No,
it? Okay.
it's not her Fargo voice.
Cool. Great. Well, you did it. You made it through all 5. And now we have two sets because I still haven't published the last set of mildly interesting questions that you and I did. I don't think I have
Well,
to edit those.
we should get we should get
The
on
royal we. So we're trying to keep this. Thank you for those answers. Let's shift gears to production meeting. Like, there's no one watching on YouTube. Facebook crashed. And I think you and I have been having the discussion about like, does it make sense to continue to put the time into doing these live if there's no engagement, which is not a judgment on people. I'm just saying, like, clearly the audience is not a live watching
right.
audience
And
right
I
now,
think
which
that's
is
fine.
totally,
I think if we wanted to
fine.
do a special,
Yeah.
that would be something. But I think regularly scheduled live ones, maybe not necessarily, especially because y'all, we didn't when we scheduled these in advance, we don't know what kind of day we're going to have. And today was a capital D day with a lot of
Yeah, it was a lot.
yeah. I'm going to be really transparent. I had therapy today and it was a really great session. And I have found that after an amazing therapy session, every ounce of energy is drained from my body. And I just want what I told Rick earlier is I want a gluten-free brownie and some vanilla ice cream and to just cuddle and watch a horror movie. because that's my safe space.
But instead, we're live.
But instead, we're live, and I have no idea if there's anyone
Woo!
watching. So that's
Yeah,
fun.
there isn't. I can tell you, it's zero,
Cool.
zero, zero right now.
Well,
And there's
then,
definitely
yeah, we're
whoever's
just
watching
live
on
for each
Facebook
other.
is is in for some disappointment
Here's
because
what I
they
think
ain't on
happened.
Facebook.
I'm pretty sure that you know that I promised Janet she could ask a certain number of questions. And so you
Yeah, I
tanked
just
Facebook on
I
purpose.
cut her off.
You were like,
It has
Janet's going to show
nothing.
up. She's not going to be on her trip. She's going to be talking. She's going to ask questions. They're going to be hard.
Yeah,
So
it
you
has
just broke
nothing to do
Facebook.
with technical difficulties at all.
So,
Um,
Janet, if you're out there, I see what he's up to. We're
mhm,
working on it. We'll get
yep,
there.
just
We'll
trying to
surprise him.
thwarting Janet is basically what I do. Uh, so we would usually also do stats, but I've started doing stats as a short.
I like that,
Um,
by the way.
and but what I'm also learning about this environment, and this is actually funny. Like Cami and I will talk to people, and they'll be like, "Oh, I totally listened to your podcast," and we're like,
I love
"Okay,
your show. I
really?
watch it all the time.
So good."
Hmm.
And I'm like, "Hmm," and it's actually because they're just watching our reels. Usually,
I don't
they're not
necessarily
even
know that.
watching YouTube Shorts. It's just
Right.
the reels.
I don't know that they know that there's more show. Maybe this is a discoverability problem. Maybe we're not
Issue. Yep.
communicating properly what the show is.
Yep.
There are people who actually listen to the full show or watch the full show on YouTube, but I
Sure.
do believe that
Yep.
most of the folks that are like, "Hey, you have a podcast? It's great," are watching us on YouTube Reels. Yeah. I
Right.
mean, Instagram Reels.
And what I've learned is so when we started this experiment, I was thinking that the short content would be almost like movie trailer kind of like behavior. Like people would watch the short form and then they'd go, "Oh, I'm going to go watch the longer form of that." But fact of the matter is, again, back to like the live, like people consuming live content, like people just watch shorts or they just watch long content. Like
Yeah.
they it's rare for there to be much crossover there. So I think, going forward, we will continue to do long form content on a weekly basis, but I think, we're seeing the most engagement both on Instagram and YouTube in terms of short form content.
If you want to consume a full length episode, an episode with my friend Chris is coming out in 2 days, and I think it's fun.
Yeah, it's
So
coming out on Thursday. The other thing that will be coming out on Thursday is the Mildly Interesting People newsletter. So if you've
it's that
missed,
time again already.
yeah, it's the end of the month. So if you missed anything and you're like, who did they talk to this month? The newsletter will tell you. The newsletter
It's true.
will give you that info. So there's that. We're edging up to 30 minutes. I say, given that we have no viewers, no one's going to be disappointed if we cut it short. Most of
Grumpy
all, me.
Octopus is going to be disappointed if we don't.
Yeah, he seems like he's not into recording today.
He fell off of the camera. He's very upset. Look, he looks
Yeah.
like Rick.
Yeah. Just two grumpy guys, two grumpy gray haired guys hanging out.
Look, this is Rick, and this is Cami.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Okay,
All
let's go.
right. Thank you. Thank you for answering the questions.
Thank
Thank
you
you
for
for the
asking the questions.
feedback on the things. And we're going to go ahead and call this even before 30 minutes because it's a low
29
energy,
minutes.
rough day with no one here to bolster our spirits
But we
beyond
still think you're
ourselves.
great. We think you're
Yes.
awesome. But we're going to go
Yes.
exercise and eat
We
brownies.
think you're so awesome. We're going to give you 30 minutes back to just, it's you time. Take care of yourself, do some self care.
Have a brownie. Watch a horror
Have
movie.
a brownie with
Mika,
some ice
do not
cream
watch
or
horror
something.
movies. You know you can't watch those.
All right.
Some of you watch horror movies, others no. Bye.
Farewell. See you next time or something and stuff.